We're here. It is after the Daytona 500. NASCAR is finally all the way back, and we're going to talk about it. It was a wild one in Daytona Beach, and the Mississippi boy pulled off the Daytona 500 championship. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., a guy that people have talked about for honestly years now as a dark horse to win the Daytona 500. He finally wins it. What are our thoughts on it? I know we're a big Ricky Stenhouse Jr. fan base here. So what do we think, Ricky?
Big deal. Big deal.
Yeah. So
he got the right push at the right time. The caution came out. So
he made a good move on Logano,
Yeah.
I think, though. I thought that was a good move. He had Larson pushing him.
Did we even see the move?
We
to
saw
get
the
to the
move.
position.
It was happening as Dylan was like spinning.
Okay.
And then he got the restart. Which, can we talk about that last? I don't think RCR handled that last restart right.
No, they should have took the same row is what they should have done.
They should have either taken the same row or raced. If you want to be back to back, there's no point in picking two different lanes.
Well, I think the thing was that they were doing it to guarantee a RCR victory. I think they wanted to block both lines, but I think Dylan let him in.
Right, that's what the plan was.
I think Kyle ended up with the better run, so Kyle went down in front of Dylan, but then Joey had the run still. So yeah, and then the inside line kind of went to shit too at the same time. It just didn't go their way.
Right, but if you think about it, like, go ahead, Sal.
I was gonna say I think it went to shit because Dylan let Busch in, so they weren't able to get that like momentum to get going because we got this dude
had to drag the brake.
Yeah.
Because if they wanted to be back to back, they should have just taken the same lane and just pushed because they could have gotten, I think, a lot more productive off of that. Of course, they're giving another team a chance to have a lane on them, but they're also doing that when they have started two different lanes and have Dylan let Kyle in. If you're going to do two separate lanes, maybe let them race each other. And because it's so hard to get a third lane going with this next gen car in the super speedways, nobody's going to make a move there. Nobody can.
Yeah.
The only way they could have made a move is if they pushed the other one car so far ahead and they moved to another lane. But that was hard. I feel like they would have side drafted each other so much that wasn't possible. So we did have some teammate play. Personally, I thought the RFK cars were the fastest cars in the field. When the 6 and the 17 were hooked up, I didn't really see anybody that was able to be better than them. What do we think about the performance from RFK this week? In the closing parts of the race, it looked like Brad Keselowski was on for a win. So what are our thoughts on RFK?
I mean, the speed was there, but I think you didn't see nobody making any moves because I think they were setting them up for the last couple laps.
I feel like they were fast, though. Like, they showed more speed.
I still think you would have had a run. Somebody would have got a run on them. That'd probably been a big wreck because Brad would have blocked like fuck. I mean, let's be honest. He gives Joey shit for doing it a couple of years ago, but Brad's just as bad, if not worse, at throwing blocks or making some bad pushes at plate racing. So I think the move would have came. I mean, I'm not saying they're not fast because Ford, in my eyes, were fast the whole weekend. I think Ford had the cars to beat. It just depends on who got up there in the front. So
right.
I don't know who was behind them. I mean, they did get passed by a couple of Chevys. So, I mean, they might have had fast cars, but it's draft. I mean, it just takes two cars getting a run on your ass, and that's all it takes.
Yeah. Well, the real reason why they got passed, I think, was they had three Chevys behind them with Dylan, Busch, and maybe Byron.
Yeah.
But then Logano was fourth in line, and you were thinking he was going with them, but he actually went with the Chevys.
I mean, Joe, you got to go where the momentum's at, and at the time, that was not where it was at. You got to go not just for yourself, but what's going to benefit you, in the long run.
And I'd say it benefited Joey a lot.
Yeah, because he didn't get wrecked after that. So
he ended up second. Let's talk a little more about Kyle Busch. We talked about the restart. Didn't really handle that well, we don't think. But I don't know if that Suarez caution needed to be a caution.
That was really quick. I mean, he didn't even pop a
They
fucking
didn't
tire
call what
before
they
they threw
called
it out.
for Herbst. Herbst was backing up
Yeah.
in the infield. They don't call that, but Suarez goes sideways.
Maybe they thought Suarez was going towards the wall, but I still think when they called that, I'm like, damn, that was fucking quick. I ain't never seen him so fucking quick.
Didn't he get stuck though?
No.
Who? Suarez or
no?
Because of the flat?
He got stuck because he was trying to drive it through the grass. They threw the caution though while he was still sideways. He didn't even have a complete spin yet. He was still sideways, having he popped the tire, and that yellow light was on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was super quick.
If they were going to see anything, they were going to pull it because they wanted the overtime restart.
Yeah.
When I thought that was shaping up to be an exciting finish, you had the RFK guys in play, you had Logano in play, you had what is Byron going to do? I was really interested, and I would have been very happy if Kyle Busch won the Daytona 500.
I could have went either way. I'd have been more happier to see Brad win it. So.
I was rooting for Brad late on in that race because I do like Brad, and I feel like he's a guy that hasn't won it yet that probably should have or will. Him and Kyle are really in that boat. But I look for the next couple of years for Kyle to be on like the Dale Senior trajectory of, almost, but just not there. And then it'll be more satisfying when I think he'll win one, right? Like,
I don't know.
Window's closing.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is he? 37?
I don't see Kyle Busch going as long as Harvick did.
Doesn't he say he wants to race?
He's been in it longer. That don't mean he has to be cut. He said
Harvick says staying Cup until his kid, and then that'll be his last season so he can race part-time.
How old is Brett? He's what? 8?
8. Yeah.
So he's going to race another 10 more years?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. Let's see if he stays with RCR that long.
I think he will. I mean, that seems like that match seems pretty good so far.
Oh, yeah.
So far. The honeymoon's still going.
True.
When the wheels start flying off, so will Kyle Busch.
When Austin Dillon
will start flying.
When Austin Dillon makes a Busch League move.
Yeah.
That'll really be when it gets exciting. Let's talk about Jimmy Johnson. I really thought he did well. Of course, he's a 7-time champion, but a couple years out of the sport, totally new car. I thought Jimmy did pretty well. He was impressive to me all day.
Wow.
Got up to the top 5. Got caught up in a wreck late. Really nothing I don't think he could have done. But I was impressed with Jimmy. What are your guys' thoughts on Jimmy Johnson's run?
Let's not get too excited. I want to see what he does on a regular track.
Yeah,
he didn't make moves. He was just in the lines, in the flow of things. It ain't like he was out there, bonsaiing it for the lead and shit and going for the win. He just went with whatever the line was doing, and he just stayed in the line like a little quiet mouse.
Yeah, but how many people didn't?
A lot of people didn't have a choice, but like I said, I'm not getting too excited about because I think he's going to struggle with this car. I don't think he's going to catch on like everybody just fucking thinking he's 7-time the gods of gods is going to do. The son of a bitch got his last championship based on fucking 2 cars wrecking each other at Homestead a couple years ago. So, and after that, he didn't do shit. So I don't think he's going to like this car once he gets in it, and let's hope he don't back one into the wall.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, Sal, what are your thoughts on Jimmy?
I thought he did good. I mean, even though, like y'all mentioned, it was a lot of just kind of like him following whatever line he got put in. What was it, like the first 2 stages maybe? For the majority of them, he was the top running Chevy. I mean, I thought that was impressive. At points in the race, it'd be just kind of like, oh, there's the 84 still in the race. That's cool.
And he showed the most, I thought he was the most competitive of the Legacy Motor Club cars.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even Chevy. I mean, Stenhouse up there at the end. Kyle. But I'm telling you, I just don't think. Well, I mean, there is Kyle, but that's Kyle. Kyle's going to outdrive his equipment.
Went to the front. Sped.
Kyle's going to outdrive his equipment.
Back to the front.
But I don't think Chevy had it this weekend, and I don't think Toyota did either. Look how Denny Hamlin did. Denny Hamlin barely cracked the top 10 all day.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think Ford's going to have the advantage this year when it comes to the new nose on their car. Yeah. I know all three makes got it, but it's from what Denny has said and from what this weekend showed, it looks like it really benefits the Ford for this season.
Yeah, Denny said that look for the Fords to be the best at the higher speed tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And because while they were better at the short tracks last year, maybe they will take a step back in that area. But at the bigger tracks, watch out for Ford. We'll see how they do this week. It's a fast track. Chevy dominated it last year. But I do feel like a lot of the best drivers at Fontana are Chevy drivers. You look at Larson and Reddick as kind of the guys, Kyle Busch, that are the best at Fontana, and that's who I put there. But we'll talk about Fontana a little later. Talk about a couple of the wrecks. I picked Eric Jones to win this week. I picked Eric Jones to make the playoffs this year. All off season. I've been talking about Eric Jones. Eric Jones this, Eric Jones that. You better be ready for Eric Jones. And that motherfucker can't even lock it down and stay on the goddamn apron. What the hell was he doing?
Let's point out that we've both been giving Kyle Busch a maybe too, by the way.
Fuck.
And he about fucking proved us wrong.
I'm amending my playoff predictions. Eric Jones is out. Kyle Busch is in.
Watch Eric Jones go win next week, and then Mike's gonna have to grovel live on the podcast.
Eric Jones could. He could.
He was fast last year. Yeah.
But, Sal, you're a fellow Chase fan. That was a really frustrating wreck to watch.
It was. In the moment of it, I said that's
while we were watching commercials.
Yeah. In the moment of it,
topic.
I said that's the difference between a good driver and a not so good driver, because him and Larson spun almost identical. Larson didn't come back up the track.
Yeah.
So, and that was also the slowest wreck I ever seen someone come into. I was like, all right, Chase is in. Chase is gonna make it out.
Yeah, I was like, Chase is clear. I told my grandfather, I was like, Chase is clear, we're good. And then bash. And I'm like, oh, well, nope, he's not. He's dead.
I thought he got hit by the 8 car. Like he had it cleared till the 8 car was on the apron. Oh, was it Eric? Okay.
Yeah, because they look similar, black and gold.
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses off my playlist. Not going to see them on tour this year. So no, we're done with them. What other wrecks happened? Yeah, I feel like a lot of wrecks were caused by pushing in the corners. That seemed to be the issue. You had that Reddick issue. You had Pastrana on the last lap, which caused that wreck. Those were the two biggest ones, I'd say. Maybe not. Maybe the one with Dylan was big too.
Yeah, that one was.
And was there one before that?
No, the caution before that was Suarez.
How did he get turned? He was on straightaway though.
Right. But yeah, so those were the 3 wrecks. 2 of them were caused by pushing in the corners. Really didn't see wrecks from blocking in this race. Really just saw it from the pushing.
That's how you generate your runs anymore.
Yeah.
And apparently the Fords can push other Fords pretty good like that. They can't push Chevy and Toyota. And plus, with the Harvick and Reddick thing, you could tell Reddick was out of shape when Harvick got to him.
Yeah.
I think he was out of throttle when he got hit. Which, it's just he was just really loose before Harvick got there. So.
Yeah. It was really disappointing, that one. Like, oof. And when you saw Chase get hit, you knew it was like, that's a toe win. And you knew Chase was going to come over the radio and say, well, it's destroyed or something like that. And he did.
Yeah. I hate it for the guys.
He hates it for the guys. Did he get interviewed?
I don't think so.
I think the only interview we got out of that wreck was Reddick.
And they sent Michael Waltrip back there to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, they only got, 2 pit reporters now?
3.
So they're making Waltrip earn his fucking money this year. They ought to, that 7-foot fuck. So being goofy, he needs to be out there fucking doing some fucking actual pit reporting.
One issue I had with the broadcast, of course, the elephant in the room is the commercials. It was bad.
But now, I will say that.
There was a graph that showed it wasn't as bad as we thought it was, but it felt bad.
But if without yellows, those commercials are preset before the race even starts.
Right.
And they always get them in before the last stage. That's the whole point of doing it, because they know the action's going to pick up in the last stage.
Yeah.
I still wish they would go. There's got to be a market or sponsors that's willing to pay for the side-by-side shit.
Yeah.
If Indy 500 can do it, I don't see why Daytona 500 can't do it.
Right.
That's just.
No, I agree completely. But one issue I did have with the broadcast was I feel like the announcers were. I'm just gonna say Clinton Tony here, were not helping Mike Joy in the big moments. Like with NBC, you get Dale chiming in the big moments, and he's like giving you that quote, that line. You got when Larry Mack.
Yeah, but then you make fun of it.
I actually find it exciting though. I enjoy.
Okay, so there was moments when there was DW and Larry McReynolds and Mike Joy, and there was a couple of really awesome finishes that a lot of fans bitched about because Mike Joy's call got ruined because DW wouldn't shut his big flap. So I think there's sometimes that the side guys, which will be Tony and Clint, do kind of let him steer the ship and shut up.
Right. But you think about, let's talk about Tegan. We watched the 2007 Daytona 500. Larry and DW make that last lap call.
Yeah, I mean, but remember when I told you that you could hear Larry trying to get it out there that Harvick was coming, and he got cut off twice by DW?
But there's big wrecks, and Clint's going, oh, they're wrecking. Or like, Clint will give all of his energy to the segment where he's talking before the actual race. Or like during a stage break, he'll be like, man, we're going to go crazy. It's going to be wild, baby. And then like during the race, he's like, yeah, Like I miss, I can't believe I'm saying this. I miss NBC's energy.
You miss Rick Allen. Let's be honest here.
Let's not say that.
No, he misses the Dale Jr. quotes is what he's missing. The turd turn, the
turd groove.
Don't put it in there, I'll take it, or some bullshit like that, whatever he says.
An opportunity, I'll put it in there.
I'll put it in there. What the fuck Kyle Petty got to do with this? I mean, Doug Jr., he's had a couple concussions. He's going to speak off the wall. His brain don't function too well. I mean.
But that's my issue. I feel like they don't, that, like, there's certain calls, have you ever? No, I've never. Like, they don't.
Tony Stewart's not an announcer. He's just up there because they don't have nobody else to put up there. I mean, I like Danica, but
we're gonna have her for 2 weeks.
She didn't make it in NASCAR, and I hate it that she didn't because she got in it too late. But I don't know why they're going to her. It's like they're repeating the same
as last year.
Of last year at the beginning of the races.
Except they used Jeff at Atlanta and they used Kenseth at Fontana.
I just wish they would actually get somebody that would actually commentate. We already got one driver in there, and that's Clint Boyer. Yeah, Larry McReynolds, I think, should have been brought back full-time this season. I don't understand why. You can say it's budget cuts. I mean, but hell, he's still doing, little 5-minute segments, if that, total for the whole race at the fucking studio. Yeah. I just think he makes
what I don't get, though,
he's better at the track.
I don't get is they had him there for the duels.
That's
because
right.
Tony wouldn't do it.
What?
That's because Tony wasn't there.
Tony was there.
Okay, was Clint?
Yeah, Clint and Tony were in the booth. Larry was like on the pits for the duels.
Okay, so was he actually in the studio for the 500, or was he at the track in a little?
He was in Charlotte. He was in studio.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's Larry McReynolds. Maybe he just don't want to be there.
No, that's what they said. People were like, "Oh, Larry just doesn't want to travel as much." Larry came out on his radio show on SiriusXM and said that's not the case. If they wanted me to do it, I would.
Okay, then it sounds like. See, I've been saying it's the same thing with the pit reporters. You get somebody like Larry McReynolds, Mike Joy, and they do it for years and years and years. Their salary is going to go up and up and up. It eventually gets to where, and the pit reporters are the same, and you're paying them because they're good. So then you start bringing in drivers like Reagan fucking Smith, who's decent, but he's going to ask for a lower salary compared to a Matt Yoakum or a Snyder. And that's why them two are not there no more, because you got drivers in there with no names like Josh Sims.
Well, he's not a driver.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. He's going to ask for less money.
He's good.
People he's good, but he's asking for less money than somebody that's already established like Matt Yoakum.
That's the thing though.
They're probably having to do a second job. Is how much less they're getting paid. They're probably having to have a side gig to make their salary to make it through the year. These other pit reporters probably didn't have to. That was their thing, and they wrote a few articles for the website and shit like that. Were done little side interesting pieces for NBC Sports or Fox Sports or whatever. Little feel good stories for race car drivers and their charities or some bullshit. But they're crunching the numbers because they're not making the money anymore like they used to, Fox and NBC. So they're getting rid of the good reporters and they're trading them in for drivers who are in retirement, especially drivers like Reagan Smith, who, let's be honest, wasn't good to begin with, retired early because, quite frankly, he didn't have a choice. Shot Clint Boyer, he was not going to get no better. Yeah, but he wasn't going to get a top ride, and he got put out for Mark Truex Jr. So,
yeah,
it's either go back to the Xfinity Series or go retire and sit and live the life of luxury at home and just driving down the road to the Fox studios to film Race Hub every day.
Yeah. No, I agree. But the thing is, they still employ Larry though, so they're still paying him.
They may not pay him like they did.
I don't know.
He's getting paid to stay at home.
I
don't think they are.
I'd probably have to listen to like the tone that Larry said it on Sirius XM, because if he like just said it like, oh well, if they wanted to, they would have asked me to, then that makes it sound like money isn't the issue. He wants to do it, but Fox just isn't asking him to go.
Because I just don't think they want to like walk back their decision from 6-7 years ago.
I don't know. Maybe they think we all are fucking interested in. I mean, I like Tony, but I mean, he's good. He's got some great analysis, but he's not drove that car. Mm-hmm. He's not been in a car for a while. He's not a good announcer. He's got his eyes somewhere else. He's got married. He's racing full time in drag racing now this year. Yep. I mean, his interest is not NASCAR right now. Right. So why do we have him in the booth? Why is Danica in the booth? I mean, I don't even care, to be honest, for Matt Kenseth or Jamie McMurray. Give me Larry McReynolds. I want a crew chief, somebody that knows strategy.
Chad was good
not
too.
Not two drivers that are guessing it.
Chad was good too.
They did, but I mean, Chad was good, but I feel like Chad's a little biased. He's up there rooting for the damn one team, so.
Maybe look at Greg Ives.
Oh, baby.
Too bad we ain't got Matt.
Yeah, they got 20 laps of fuel left. They all run out of 10 laps. That's for all the Bowman fans watching. They love Greg Ives. Unfortunately, Matt's not here this week because he was supposed to do something for us, but I guess we'll save it. We will. He'll be here. Let's talk about the Xfinity race. Junior Motorsports had 4 cars in line behind one solo leader and lost.
I mean, they were 3 wide though for like when the caution got called. So I mean, it was barely lost.
Justin Allgaier is a doofus.
I mean, he about won it. I mean, I'm not taking his side here. I think he's a Xfinity lifetimer, but I mean, he was in a 3 wide photo. I call photo finish.
For how long he's been in the car that he's in, he should be way better than he is.
You're talking about a plate race, Mike, and one race into the season.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a lot more about him. I'm just saying that he's not as good as people act like he is.
Oh, I don't think he is, but I mean, I think he's good for Xfinity, and the equipment does make that for it.
If you look back, if he follows Josh Berry and the 2 teammates go with them, that's his best chance at winning. Not hanging one of his teammates out and splitting them into 2s. That does nobody any good.
I mean, you can only go with teammates for so long. I mean, you gonna follow one to win and not win for your team?
No, but if you let Barry make the move, you guys get out in front, then go make your move. See what happens. See who goes with you.
But you're going to take the move that you know is going to get you the lead because they're not expecting it. And then you're going to let them wreck behind you, which is exactly what they did.
Well, Sam Mayer caused that wreck.
Well, I mean, I'm talking about the one that on the last lap.
Yeah.
He wasn't in it. He was ahead of it. That's what you got to think about too.
Mayer?
No, Allgaier. Mayer won the last caution. He was the one before that.
No, he was the caution on the last lap.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? I thought he flipped and it was fine.
No, he was the last lap.
Oh, I could have sworn it was the one before that.
Then they took 15 minutes to figure out who the winner was, which was fun.
And look how quick it took them in the Cup race. I don't understand. I don't understand that. They had that one like the fucking team was celebrating it before NASCAR called it.
Well, let's just talk about the lack of skill in some of the crews this weekend. I watched the ARCA race.
I didn't. I mean, you just got to say ARCA at Daytona, Mike, or Talladega, and you know that's going to be a cartoon clusterfuck.
It was, but the funniest part was they had trucks trying to clean oil off of the top lane of the track, and the truck drivers were not good enough, and they kept sliding down the banking. So we had like a 25-minute delay because they had to clean the track by hand. They had guys climbing through under the catch fence with like gas cans and brooms because you could see the Toyota Tundra just go whoop down the banking. It was embarrassing. It was like I was watching with my mom and I was like, that's not serious. Like, where's Juan when you need him? He'll straighten that thing out.
I'm tied.
No, they had Tide out there. I
Well,
swear to God,
what was it then? Somebody, it couldn't have been oil. It had to be something else then for trucks to slide off of it.
Somebody was on fire.
So it was fuel.
Could have been, yeah. But like, it was.
Just slot that shit up and let it burn itself.
It was.
So we all have a Juan moment.
It took 25 minutes for them to clean up a one-car wreck that was on fire. It was so bad. I'll see if I can find. Like, I'm gonna go on Twitter and see if I can find this video because, like, I don't know if it'll be out there. Hopefully, it is. And then also, speaking of the banking during the ARCA race, that car that tried to drive straight up the banking.
Oh yeah, that I saw.
Yeah, that was really bad. What is this? I don't even. This is tough. Is that when it slides down? I'm really struggling to find this here. This is embarrassing. I should have looked at this before. ARCA delay. Twitter, we're going to look it up. Here we go. I mean, it was an interesting race. Frankie Muniz was there. That was fun.
He did pretty good.
Yeah. He did actually do better than I thought. And then there's Dale Quarterly, who took Daniel Dye's car from last year, which had Daniel Dye on the name area. And he took out the NI and like the DY and put just Dale. It was all spread out. It was really funny.
And then the number was like awkwardly offset.
Yeah, because Daniel Dye was 43 and he was 4. It was, and he was a menace, that Dale Quarterly.
I'll tell you what, shout out Natalie Decker. I forgot she was in that race.
Yeah,
that's what you want if you're her.
She did not do well.
But hey, she didn't wreck, or did she?
No. There's another girl that wrecked, Amber Falcon. And they kept talking about Mandy. There's like 7 women in the race. If you're an ARCA driver, you're either 65 years old, an 18-year-old man, or a woman.
Or an actor that...
Or in between, yeah.
Or an actor.
Or an actor who gave up acting. But who's in the hair club, by the way, with Joey? He acted in a while. He's actually, sometime this season, when they're out in Phoenix, I think, he's actually going to take like a week to film a movie.
Whoa,
is what he said, or is what he was quoted as saying. They asked him if he's given up on, like, if he's going to let acting on the side, and he said he's filming a movie here in a couple months for like a week.
That's
there
insane.
You go, Frankie. So let's look at this here. Not only was he an actor here, right? He was a race car driver, and he was a drummer of a rock band. This guy, Francisco Muniz IV, has lived an incredible life. Like, look at this. I mean, he's an actor. He's everything. Racing, music, business ventures. He's a fan of the Arizona Cardinals, the Clippers. He's married. He's got a son, Mosley Muniz. Good for him, man. Let's see his last movie. The Black String. His last TV show. He was Jace on New Amsterdam. That's a hospital show.
Season 4, episode 19.
Oh my goodness, he was Domino in Disney's 102 Dalmatians Puppies to the Rescue, the video game. Wow. Look at all these awards. Did he win the Emmy? No. Damn it. Come on, Frankie.
Outstanding lead actor. No. Oh, no.
He got slimed. He got slimed. Hey, Frankie had a year in 2009. And there we go. There he is. He's doing the full season, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Good for him. Shout out Frankie. Let's see what this last movie's about, The Black String. Whoa, he looks awesome. He looks great. Muniz looks. Where's Assad? How can I watch this? I gotta check this out. Ravi Patel, is that the dude from? No, it's not. I know him. He was on a show that I watched. He was on. Yeah, It's Always Sunny. I've seen this. Shout out Ravi Patel. All right.
Yeah.
Got any reviews here? Nope. Frankie Muniz was nominated for a bunch of stuff, and he won. Wow.
He is him.
Muniz is him. Shout out Frank. My guy. We're big Frank fans here. Spencer's laughing. So yeah, JR Junior Motorsports fumbled the bag. Truck race was just like the most fitting return to NASCAR ever. We raced one lap and then it's like, oh, caution for rain. Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Which was fun. Zane Smith wins. He's gonna win that championship, isn't he?
100%.
Yeah,
probably.
Now, does he take the 4 next year?
I think he's got a good shot in
at front row.
No, I don't. I think he's wasted talent at front row.
Okay.
I think he's got a good shot at the 4 car.
Okay. I like that.
Unless he just feels loyalty. But who would pass up an opportunity to work with Rodney Childers?
Yeah.
I mean,
you really can't.
You can't. No, there's just no way.
Yeah. What other topics do we got from Daytona?
They need to change this fucking package.
I agree. I think
I'd rather see some slam drafting than bullshit. At least with slam drafting, you ain't got to worry about fucking spinning somebody.
Yeah.
And it's a slow spin, too. It's not like you just violently turn them. It's just like, oh, here I go.
I think we took the Gen 6 package for granted. Like, we took it for granted.
Yeah, and it wasn't the best, but it's better than this.
Really good.
I still feel like the early 2000s to about 2010, even when they got tandem. Tandem is what led to what we got now.
Yeah.
Because they didn't like tandem because it was just 2 cars teaming up against the other 2 cars, and so NASCAR had to get away from that. But it's been a slow process leading up to. That's the reason why we got what we got.
That's fair.
Just go back to slam drafting. That was some bunch. At least slam drafting, you can go from the back to the fucking front in 2 laps. You cannot do that, and you can't run 3 wide with these with this package. The cars are really unstable when they're 3 wide. And everybody's like, oh, I like these cars being unstable. Not at a fucking plate race because it turns into a damn shit show. Either they're all wrecking or they're all 1 lining that bitch or 2 lining it now. Now they're not single file. They're a parade. They're pace lapping it around there at full speed now.
Yeah, it's hard to move through. Like Denny Hamlin said on Actions Judgmental, which I think is a great listen. For anybody watching that hasn't listened to it, I've really enjoyed it so far. I started the 3rd episode this morning. That he could have gotten through the field from the back to the front within 10 laps with Gen 6. Now they asked him, how much time would you need from the back to the front? He said 2 fuel runs. It's a lot of time. That's almost like half the race.
And what you're waiting on is for a line to get jacked up because somebody gets out of shape because they took a push the wrong way. Is what you're waiting on. So you're waiting on. You're hoping you're in the right line.
That's an exaggeration, but it was just that somebody would catch the left side of the bumper occasionally and spin around. It's kind of similar to what we're doing now. I don't think people wrecked any more off of pushes than they have the last few years. That's been the cause of every wreck at plate tracks, basically, is the pushing on the backstretch and somebody wrecks. That's how Kyle wrecked in the duels. That's how Dylan wrecked last night. So that still is the case. If you could give me the Gen 6 plate package again, I'd be very happy. I thought it was really good.
I mean, they keep this shit up. I mean, I don't see the point in plate racing.
Yeah.
Maybe they need Daytona and Talladega down to one race.
It's not even plate racing anymore. Took the plate out.
And see, it's worse at Atlanta. I don't understand how everybody thinks that track was better off reconfiguring because it's worse. It's literally fresh paved. There's no character to the pavement. It's single file. Kurt was right. Put them with a full horsepower package so they can lift and see where handling comes into effect. Stenhouse said it after his win that Daytona is just now starting to wear out on the pavement again.
Right.
From the last repave. And how long has that been? I mean, hell, you still see fucking
10 years.
It's been more than that because you can still see Juan Pablo's freaking marks on the track where he burned it up. They didn't pave that, so the pave job was like the year before that. So because that's over 10 years.
Daytona 2010 had the pothole.
Yeah.
Which is fun. That was a moment. Great race though. Shout out Jamie Mack. He always looks grumpy.
Maybe he's constipated.
Like my grandma said, he's either like he always looks like he's like sitting like he's ready to leave, or like he's always like. So maybe Jamie doesn't really like his life. If I was Jamie, I'd be happy. Wouldn't you? I mean, I won.
I would.
7 cup races.
That's somebody else. I think they got kind of forced out to retirement.
Yeah, no,
probably quicker than what he wanted.
I'd bet. Because Kurt took him, right?
Kurt.
That monster money, don't lie. Tell you what, so we're going to have 2 monster cars on the track just straight up next week. That'll be fun.
I mean, we kind of did this week. If you just all you're seeing is the hood, so you don't know which one's which because they're both black.
I'm really surprised they went with Reddick. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd stay.
I mean, they done 2 cars in Xfinity, and not just 2 cars. They done 2 manufacturers. So
yeah,
I mean, they got Riley in Xfinity now, and then they got
still got him. Yeah,
they got Deegan in the truck still. So
Monster must be pulling. They must have their hand in another cookie jar because you cannot make that much money off that shit. That shit is nasty.
They're everywhere in like the whole the motorsport. Like
I know there's like a flaw sponsor, but that means they're paying money. I don't see where they're getting this money because you're not getting that back totally from your sponsorship. That's the reason why they wanted
Lewis Hamilton. Like
that's
a lot. That's like sponsoring like Jimmy Johnson in like 2012
in his prime.
Yeah, like, whew. They're doing a lot of money, and they sponsored the Supercross series.
Yeah,
they're in everything. They're everywhere, man, and they're not good.
No, they're not. Last time I had one, I had a fucking killer headache.
There's one monster that's good. It's the Rehab iced tea. That is good.
Don't do cotton candy. Oof. That's just gross. Only the energy drinks I can drink are the NOS or Full Throttle. They're not as strong. And if I do NOS, it has to be grape. I can't stand original.
I like Bang.
That to me is like a Monster, just a cheaper version.
I love the Bang.
I tried it once. I didn't like it.
You didn't like Bang?
Mm-mm.
I'll Bang. My mom loves Bang.
I'm not going to go there. I'm going to be nice, Mike. I'm going to be nice.
Somebody has before. It didn't work out well for them.
Matt?
Not Matt. He tries. He like inches there, but doesn't go all the way.
She lets him get close and then sprays the bottle like on a cat. That's why we call cat. Right. That's why we call them cat monitors.
Cat.
Use the spray bottle.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. Yeah. So that's the Daytona weekend. Anything else in the race we'd like to talk about? Keselowski won the stage. Chastain won the second one. Or was it vice versa? No, Keselowski won stage 1.
Yeah, you're right.
Chastain stage 2.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. Who's leading points? Logano.
Let's
take a look at the points. We'll find it right now. NASCAR standings.
I think Chase is 29th.
Thanks, Tegan. I did. That is correct, by the way. I had not the lowest.
I looked at it today.
He's not the lowest Hendrick driver, though. That's the important factor.
Not last.
Right. That's what our goal is this year. All right. Here we go. It's Logano, Buescher, Stenhouse, Bell, Bowman. Blaney's 7th in points. That's an improbable effort considering what he went through during that race.
I mean, did you see what that car looked like when they got to the pit road after the race? Yeah, I'm surprised that son of a bitch was able to get around the track at minimum speed.
Finish 8th, too.
I was about to say, I think it was a top 10.
Travis Pastrana in the playoffs right now. Let's frame that. The final driver in the playoffs for NASCAR is Travis Pastrana. Got Kyle Busch outside the top 20. Jimmy Johnson has more points than Chase Elliott. There's Byron. Oosh, bad week for Chase Briscoe, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon. And these guys don't run for points. Ty Dillon had a hell of a 500. He was out in like 10 laps with the engine issue. JB's excited. Not sure how long it'll last. Bowman up there. Maybe it'll last long. He's got a new crew chief, Blake Harris. Everybody were acting like he's going to tear the world up. He could. I like Bowman. I think he's good. I just don't think that he'll ever be the best driver on Hendrick. I don't think he'll ever be the third best driver on Hendrick with the group of drivers that we have right now. But I think Bowman is good. That's not taken away from him. He'd be the best driver on a lot of other teams. Like let's say Bowman. Yes. If Bowman replaces Harvick, he's the best driver on SHR.
Absolutely not.
Who?
Chase Briscoe.
Come on, Sal, don't be ridiculous.
In the same equipment, same team. Give me Chase Briscoe.
Come on, Sal.
33 out of the 36 races.
Wow.
Okay, I'm back.
That's a lot of races. Okay. Tegan, if Bowman replaces Harvick at SHR, let's just imagine this. Is Bowman the best driver on that team?
No. Just because Briscoe and Priest are there.
Thank you.
Okay,
who is saying that? Did I miss something?
We have 2 comments. Spencer.
These emojis look so funny.
They're really good. Do you?
All I know, Spencer, is you cost your owner a top 4 finish. I don't think you need to be worried about me. I think you need to be worried about Papa. Pop.
And JB said this. Mike, we're going to have issues if you say that Bowman isn't better than Byron. Well, I guess we have issues.
I think Byron's going to be like a Blaney. I think he's going to be really slow at being good. I mean, he's good now, but I don't think we've seen the best. I don't think we've seen the best out of Byron either. I'd put him on the same level as Blaney, and look how much longer Blaney's been in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think Byron's better than Bowman, though. Like, I look at Byron with a higher ceiling than Bowman. I think he's what's their win comparison? Bowman has 7 or 8. Byron's probably got 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, did they start the same year? Yeah, no. Right?
No, Bowman started way before.
Well, at Hendrick, I mean.
Oh, yes, same year? No, Byron started in 2018.
Well, Bowman was 2018 too then.
Oh, then no, yeah, they did start.
But he raced part-time in 16.
Yeah.
Are we sure Byron started in 2018? That seems awful.
He's been around a lot longer than we think because he replaced Kane.
Because Chase Elliott's rookie season was 2016, was it not?
Yes.
Correct.
I thought Byron was way after that, at least 2019.
Byron was 17 18, because 17 he won the Xfinity title.
Right.
Okay.
So the one where Priest cost Sadler the championship?
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah, that's why we're not talking about them, Spencer, because they're clearly the top two on Hendrick. So, yeah, they do have championships. Will another one win a championship this year? Who knows? I don't know. I think Danny's going to win.
Oh, it's still early.
It is.
I want to get through some big tracks and some short tracks.
Yeah, so I have a better gauge on it. Maybe somebody fucking random's going to win. Ricky Stenhouse, champion.
Yeah.
Book it.
Whatever.
That'd be awesome.
I'd suck his dick.
Okay.
Clip that. Clip that. Someone clip that.
If he wins the championship, call Ricky. I'll give him what Danica apparently couldn't.
Here's some stats from JB. Alex has 7 wins. William has 4. William only had 1 consistent season. That was 2021. Last year he had less top 10s than Alex. And Alex
had 5 JB. Let's just this season's going to be the tell-all. Whoever has the most and whoever finishes higher, I'll come up with a math formula to grade it, and we'll see who's fucking better. Because apparently you've got a hard-on on this stat on who's better between the two. It's like you do not want your driver to be the lowest of the totem pole at the Hendrick, when really he is.
Until we can see what he can do with Blake Harris. Fans love him.
Why, JB? Is it because he don't have a certain coochie anymore? Where's Matt when you need him?
What's his name?
Fuck, I ain't heard it enough. I can't remember.
Dave Hives?
Gregory, but no, that's my name. Maybe I'm just getting me confused because I'm fucking good at crew chiefing and driving. Yeah, my name is Gregory.
Actually?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Greg. Okay, Greg Jones. That's a Southern boy name. Are you actually named Greg? No.
Yeah. My first name is Gregory.
What's your middle name? Tegan?
Tegan. You're saying it wrong, but yes.
It's Tegan?
Yes. Everybody says it wrong. I just answer to it because I'm used to it. It don't even faze me anymore. People at work called me Tegan for years. I'm like, what? I go with it. But yeah, it's Tegan. It's the opposite of the way it's spelled.
Can we just let's give Greg Ives some credit here, okay? He made the playoffs, I think, every year of Bowman's career with him, right? He won 4 races with Bowman in a season. And he got Junior 3 wins in a season. How many did he win in 15, Sal? 2 or 3?
15-3.
Which is like Junior's second most successful season after the year 2004.
Yeah.
But we're going to act like he's like
not
this
good.
Evil supervillain man.
Maybe he just don't like Bowman.
Maybe he doesn't like Bowman.
Maybe he's sabotaging his ass. Now he's moved up and he's got Blake in on it too.
Oh, Blake! It's a conspiracy to go after Bowman.
Hendricks just keeps him on there because he's like the little carrot for the other 3 to chase.
No, right. Here's the plot twist.
This way, the other 3 know they're never the bottom driver at Hendricks. As long as we keep Bowman here, you will never be the bottom.
Yeah. Is that what you're
JB
saying?
and Bradley are going to team up.
The plot twist is going to be Dell Jr. got Greg Ives, and he's going to get Blake Harrison on this so they can put his boy Josh Berry up in that car. Whenever, what's his name's?
JB, don't do this with me. Junior only had 1 good season with him. Are you serious? Junior raced for him for 3 years, and he was knocked all to hell for 2 of them. Okay? He missed half of 2016 because his brain didn't work, and he just wasn't the same after that. And I think it was Dale, not Greg Ives, because Bowman won that car the next year.
But you're not on here, JB. You're not. You're not.
You're
Sorry.
You could have been here. I invited you. I invited you here.
Yeah, we were going to kick Sal out. I mean, now Sal's our little stat guy. He's on Larry Mack. You cannot you can't disagree with Sal. Sal's got the stats.
Sal's a stat guy. He's a
stat guy. I'm the math guy, and Whitman is the mouth.
That's right. It's hard to be, somebody with an ego like me, but that's why I'm the mouth. Anyway, first half of 2016 was abysmal too. It was not abysmal. Let's be real. I mean, it wasn't great. I think he was like on the bubble to make the playoffs, points wise. Yeah. So that's not abysmal. I could be wrong. I'm not.
It is when Harvick is, though. Apparently.
Well, yeah, he sucks.
Okay,
he's got 60 wins and 4 points championships, but he sucks.
Oh no, I would love to live in that era. Go back to a time machine.
Too. Chase Elliott would have a championship and Jeff Gordon would have 7. I'll take that era.
And Jimmy would have, what did we say again, 2 or 3? Or was it just
3,
2?
4?
3 or 4, I think.
I don't even think it was 4. I want to say at the most 3.
Was it? It was.
I think it was 4 because I think the way I remember it is basically they just
swapped them out.
Around. Yeah.
I'll tell you. Hang on.
Well, I can win against you, JB, because I can just stop showing your messages on the screen. Okay. So
block him.
I hold power. Can I do that?
Johnson would only have 3.
I can put him in timeout.
You hear me?
Oh, I actually hit the button. You can't talk for 5 minutes.
He does this shit a lot. He cost one of the league's best drivers ever by permanently banning his ass on accident.
What'd you do? Click the button like, oh, what's this do?
I thought I was gonna see what it said.
Somebody gave him admin rights in Discord, and a week into it, he's permanent banning people. Oops.
What'd you think it was gonna say? Are you sure you want to put them on?
No, I thought it was gonna give me like a time frame. Like
a little kid.
Like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I was gonna put him in for like a minute. Now he's in for 5 minutes. I wonder if he texted me or anything. He hasn't yet. It just says Jared Hall was blocked for 5 minutes. Look at the chat on the screen.
Oh my god.
No, I'm sorry, JB. I love you. I hope you're on next week.
End the stream in 4 minutes.
He said, ban me on YouTube. I'll message you here. Yeah, Instagram. He's not banned. Hopefully he's not. That'd be a big mistake.
No, I'm pretty sure it's just the 5 minutes.
Hopefully. Oh, man. I think it's time we'll do picks right now. Let's get to the screen. Actually, I'll open up 2 sets of sheets here. So we can talk about CFRL first, and then we can
get off the Guns N' Roses dick, Spencer.
Is he talking about them?
He says best scheme of 2023, we're 1 race into the season. The best scheme has not happened yet because Harvick ain't released none of his. That shit's gonna be lit this season. There's gonna be some fucking throwback from hell this season with that car. I hope for the All-Star race they even go back to the 29 car.
Whoa,
that would be awesome. I think RC would let it.
Yeah, definitely. No doubt.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the motherfucker's already said forever 29. So, I mean, I think he's on board. I think that was permission granted.
Okay, let's check out the CFRL standings here.
I wonder who could be leading. I bet it ain't Bowman.
You're not leading by – it isn't. You're not leading by much. 17 points over JB, who's 1 ahead of me. Yeah. What are your thoughts so far, Tegan? You finished 5th last night, right?
Yeah, I had to fight for that one. I had to stop myself from wrecking 2 teammates. A couple other people that were just bonsaiing it in there every fucking corner. I mean, yeah, that race. I had a guaranteed top 2 finish with a last-minute yellow fucking out the door. And it became a clusterfuck and basically helped Bradley. You're fucking welcome, by the way. Next time I'll just fucking keep trucking. You bitch. But yeah, I mean, I probably had more points if I'd had actually. I ain't had good stages this year compared to last year at this time. So
we got our playoff standings here. Harris is up 10 right
for
now.
somebody that missed the first race.
Yep. It's really a battle of people that have missed, though, because Wessel
got half points.
Wessel's missed a race, gotten half points. Spencer's missed a race. Harp.
Ryan Harp has half
Has he
points.
missed another one?
I don't think so. I mean, you can check. I'm pretty sure he's made every race.
NSP missed a race. Don hasn't, but anyway, yeah, I'm happy with it. I got third, which was way, way above where I'm
gonna go and see if he's watching. KLW is up by 40, and by the way, KLW boy Mike had you struggling this year to make the playoffs. So I'm gonna see if you're watching. Don't you say nothing, Mike. I'm gonna see if he's watching later on. We'll see if he comments in Discord.
I want him to make the playoffs. I just thought it still could be a challenge for him because Wessel and Spencer, I think.
Well, the only thing I worry about KLW is the summer's coming up, and he likes to be outside during the summer with his wife, gardening and stuff. So that's usually where he misses his races, and you're only allowed to miss 7 to actually not even be eligible, let alone missing 1 or 2 to take you out of the points. So summer stretch is what may get KLW.
Yeah. Well, I hope he makes the playoffs because he's always a fun time, and I think him being around makes the league exponentially better. So, yeah. Give you one more spot open for him. Let's get into the picks here. So, the order this week, I believe, will be me because Eric Jones is a dipshit, then JB, then Bradley, then Matt, then Tegan, then Sal, then Wessel. So, with my pick for Fontana, I will be taking Tyler Reddick. We'll go. This is the sheet that we have to determine who is all taken for your team or for you so far. So we'll red him out here. What red do I use? I use that. Right. Okay. All right. Then JB is next. He's not on the pod this week, but he's picking Kush Bush. Kush Bush is off the board for him. Bradley is picking next. He is taking Kyle Larson. I believe Maddie is next. And he will have William Byron this week. That's his pick. All right, Tegan, who do you got?
Take Siebel.
Christopher Bell. He's on Seabell. And Sal, who do we got?
He just took my pick.
Thank you, Riley Hurst. Fucking 5th place, bitch.
Go ahead and give me Chastain.
Ross Chastain. A lot of big names off the board here. And Wessel not here. He's at Daytona. He's picking Harrison Burton.
You gotta remember, Auto Club's going to be this last race for this configuration. There's going to be a lot of drivers want to win this one.
Yeah.
Before that way, they can say that they won an Auto Club before NASCAR ruined it.
I don't know if they'll ruin it, but I just think that this
it's ruined.
They should keep. Come on, stop.
It's ruined.
You haven't even seen them race there yet.
Well, I mean, they let Atlanta do what they did, and look at it. It's a fucking shit show.
Would you rather have Atlanta become a short track or that what it is?
No, they should have left it alone and just freaking repaved it.
No, I didn't. That's not the question I asked.
Yeah, no. Atlanta was fine the way it was. They should have just repaved it and let the shit wear out.
You have the option to make it a super speedway or a short track. What do you do?
You make it a super speedway with actually fucking good drafting, but they didn't do that.
If it's a 1.5 mile super speedway or it's a short track. What are you doing?
1.5 miles. Because short tracks ain't shit with this car right now, are they?
Well, I assume by 2028, when this track is supposedly going to be ready, that is
okay. No, it's going to be knocked down to one race. It's going to be reconfigured again because they'll realize they fucked it up.
No, I'm saying by the time 2028 happens.
Oh, you're talking about Auto Club or Atlanta?
Yeah, Auto Club will be ready by 2035, maybe. That's what it seems like. Because it's going to take.
Yeah, because apparently nobody in California works. So.
No, they're all. Who knows?
All right, calm down there, New York.
They think they're all hot shots. Us New Yorkers, we work. We work hard, baby. We're the real city.
You're a blue collar boy, right?
They're all punks.
Wishing he could draw unemployment right now.
What's that?
I said he's a blue collar right now, wishing he could draw unemployment. Up there hard working. I ain't been to work in what, a week now?
Like 2.5. Yeah. This is a nice shirt. Do you guys like my shirt? Look at this.
It's nice.
Thank you. Love you, Sal. Okay, JB's untimed out if he wants to start talking again. I think he should be by now, maybe. Yeah, definitely. So final race on this configuration of Fontana. Kind of unfortunate that it is reconfiguring to what it is. I think they could have probably figured out a way to do both, but that's besides the point. We all gave our predictions, but what are you expecting for this race? Who are you looking for to be strong? What kind of style are you looking for to prevail?
What do you mean style?
Just driving style. Like, do you think a Chevy driver will win? Do you think the top lane will be there? What do you think? Things like that.
I want to see. Okay, so apparently Ford's got better drag, but how does that affect tire wear? This is where, tire wear wasn't really a big problem last year unless you were just flat out blowing them out. It just seemed like the tires don't wear. I think they wear out to where you can't come back from it or something.
Right.
Is what happened last year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last year this was the second race, and they how many wrecks did they have in practice of flat tires in the first corner?
A lot, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think this race may be a better race this year because I think these guys have figured out the car and the tire, what not to do and shit like that. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's hard to say which make's going to be good. I mean, Toyota was good at Michigan, but there's not a lot of tire wear at Michigan. There is at Auto Club, so you could burn your shit up early, and I don't know. It's hard to tell with this car and tire. And you don't have a lot to compare it to last year either because that race was a learning race for everybody.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Sal, what do you think?
I think we'll see a lot of the same guys powering, even though he switched manufacturers. I think Reddick will still be up there. It's just a matter of I don't want to say a specific manufacturer is going to be up there. I think it's more of whose driving style can adapt more. Because, I mean, there's lanes that you can actually use right now. So, I mean, I expect, the dirt guys to know a lot, be up front a lot. Larson, Bell, Bush has had some pretty good dirt experience. I think he's going to be up there. But yeah, like you said, I think a bunch of drivers, I saw somewhere that a bunch of them are speaking out now saying they don't want it changed.
Just said that a couple of years ago. Though.
Yeah, but
I don't think it would have done any good. NASCAR don't listen to them. I mean, look what happened last year with the car. NASCAR was like, we're listening after Harvick and Denny Hamlin finally had to put their ass on the fucking roast on Twitter before they finally fucking said anything. So they don't listen until the fans start giving them shit for it.
Right.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you to everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week to talk about Fontana. I think it might be time to just hit this nice little music, don't you think?
I mean, I can't hear it anyway, so.
Shut up, Tegan.
What'd you say?
On my toe. Don't step on my toes.
It's only because you can't step on your dick.
They're on the same level. Oh, do it. Hit it. Hit it.
Only because you stretched it out.
Let's go! Oh, shit. Okay. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.
That is it.
Where?
Up in your nose. Oh, that matches.
I thought you were talking about right here. I was like, is it?
Right here. Yeah.
No, that's because he needs a bib.
Good night. Good night. Goodbye.